Putin's closest ally is watching a strategic nightmare unfold on his doorstep, and the shockwaves from this geopolitical earthquake are being felt in the Kremlin itself. What you see on your screen is the Suwałki Gap. For decades, military planners have called it NATO's Achilles heel. A tiny 100-kilometer stretch of land that represents Russia's quickest path to cutting the Baltic states off from the rest of Europe. Today, Poland and Lithuania are turning that vulnerability into a death trap. And without firing a single shot, they have created one of Russia's biggest strategic headaches. Poland is forming an entirely new military division, the largest tactical unit in its army, and stationing it right on this border. It has deployed thousands of troops and moved its most advanced American and South Korean tanks to the frontier. It has built a steel wall equipped with 24/7 electronic surveillance. And most importantly, it has welcomed the first permanent US military base in its history, placing American soldiers directly on the tripwire. There is only one reason for this massive mobilization. Warsaw believes that the war in Ukraine is just the beginning. And the proof arrived in Belarus by the thousands. In the summer of 2023, thousands of Wagner mercenaries exiled from Russia after their failed mutiny set up camp just a few kilometers from the Polish border. Their leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin, was filmed telling his fighters to prepare for a new journey to Africa. But Belarusian dictator Alexander Lukashenko hinted at another target, telling Putin that the Wagner fighters were stressing him out because they wanted to go on an excursion to Warsaw. Poland did not treat this as a joke. It immediately moved over 10,000 troops to the border, backed by attack helicopters, calling it a clear act of hybrid warfare. While the Wagner threat has since diminished, Poland's response has not. The mobilization it triggered has now become permanent. Let's start with the most tangible face of this new reality, the war. In 2021, Lukashenko began weaponizing migrants, flying in thousands from the Middle East and forcing them across the border to destabilize Poland and the EU. In response, Poland constructed a formidable barrier, a 5.5-meter-high steel wall stretching for 186 kilometers, topped with concertina wire. It's not just a physical barrier. It is a seamless electronic shield equipped with thousands of day and night cameras and motion sensors that can detect a presence from hundreds of meters away. Lithuania has built a similar 4-meter-high fence along its entire 500-kilometer border with Belarus. The Suwałki Gap is no longer an open field. It is a fortified line, but a wall is useless without the firepower to back it up. And this is where Poland's most dramatic moves are happening. Warsaw is in the middle of a military buildup unseen in Europe for decades. Its goal is to create the largest land army on the continent. A key part of this is the new 1st Iron Infantry Division, being formed specifically to defend this eastern flank. It's being equipped with the best hardware money can buy: American M1 Abrams tanks, South Korean K2 Black Panther tanks, and HIMARS rocket systems, the same weapons that have devastated Russian forces in Ukraine. The message to Minsk and Moscow is clear. Any attempt to cross this border will not be met by border guards, but by the full force of one of NATO's most powerful armies. Yet, Poland's most radical step was not one it took alone. In a historic first, the United States established a permanent military garrison on Polish soil, named Camp Kościuszko. For years, US forces in Poland were rotational, a symbolic presence. Now, it is a permanent forward command post for the US V Corps. This is more than just a symbol. It means American soldiers are now permanently stationed on the ground, guaranteeing an immediate and automatic US response to any aggression. It shatters any illusion in the Kremlin that an attack on Poland would be a regional conflict. It would instantly become a war with the United States. What makes all these maneuvers truly dangerous for Russia is hidden in a ruthless detail of geography. While the Suwałki Gap is a vulnerability for NATO, it creates an even bigger one for Russia, the Kaliningrad exclave. Sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania, Kaliningrad is one of the most militarized pieces of land on Earth. It is the headquarters of Russia's Baltic fleet and is packed with Iskander missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads. For Moscow, this is a strategic dagger pointed at the heart of Europe. But this fortress is also a prison. Its only land connection to a Russian ally is through that same Suwałki Gap to Belarus. In any conflict, NATO forces could sever that link in hours, turning Kaliningrad into an isolated island surrounded on all sides by hostile territory. With Finland and Sweden now in NATO, The Baltic Sea has become a NATO lake, meaning Kaliningrad can't be resupplied by sea either. The dagger pointed at Europe would be instantly trapped. Concentrating so much military power in one small, isolated region has now turned Kaliningrad into a massive target, ripe for a single knockout blow. Russia is not sitting idle. In response to this encirclement, it has moved tactical nuclear weapons into Belarus. It regularly conducts massive joint military drills with Minsk, simulating an attack on the gap. But the most telling detail is this: its most advanced units and experienced soldiers that would be needed for such an operation have been ground down and depleted in Ukraine. Moscow is making threats from a position of relative weakness, forced to allocate its remaining high-end resources to watch a border that is getting stronger by the day. The ultimate weapon here isn't the tanks, the wall, or the American base. It's Poland's national mindset. Centuries of being invaded and occupied by Russia have forged a culture of fierce resistance. This history is why Poland is pushing its defense spending towards 4% of GDP, the highest in NATO. It is why 89% of Poles see Russia as a major threat. This is not paranoia. It is a lesson written in blood. Of course, the likelihood of Russia launching a direct, large-scale invasion of Poland today is low. The Russian army is tied down in a brutal war of attrition, and NATO's Article 5 guarantee is a powerful deterrent. But the most likely scenario is a continuation of the conflict by other means. Weaponized migration, cyber attacks, and airspace provocations will likely increase. The Suwałki Gap will remain a flashpoint, a heavily armed frontier where two worlds collide. Poland's buildup forces Russia to divert troops and attention to this front, resources that cannot be used in Ukraine. The new Iron Curtain is being drawn not with bricks and mortar, but with steel, sensors, and the unwavering resolve of a nation that refuses to be a victim of history ever again.